Joy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's on your mind out of Macon, Georgia?
I saw the video this morning. I saw that it was flat outside. So I'm saying to myself, on February the 26th, time had not changed. And here on the East Coast, it's dark at 7 o'clock. It's dark at 8 o'clock. So I'm trying to figure out, was this video something that they did at a later date?
Oh, no. It was, well, that's, let me just say this before I say anything definitively. There's no way to confirm what time it was.
No, it's not.
Not yet. So before I say anything, you're right. I cannot confirm. Nobody can confirm what time it was. But it doesn't matter what time it was because he's not injured.
Yeah,
he's not injured.
And I slowed down trying to be a super sleuth. I slowed down the video, and I did see what looked like an abrasion on the top of his head, but his nose, there was no blood. His clothes didn't seem to be wrinkled up. He did not seem like, and obviously I'm not an expert, but he didn't seem like a person who had just was in a life or death struggle.
Exactly, and they even zoomed in on it this morning, and I saw nothing to him.
You didn't see that broken nose, girl?
I didn't see a broken
nose. Oh, Joy, something wrong. Get your eyes checked.
And if he was cleaned up, when was he cleaned up? At what point between the scene that when he was taken in to the time that he got that police vehicle, when did they get time to clean him up, and who cleaned him up?
And George, did they have some Tide detergent with him and clean the shirt too?
Well, there was no blood on the shirt that I saw.
What I really want to know, you guys, is I want Zimmerman to speak. I'm tired of everyone else speaking for him.
Zimmerman is never going to speak.
Wait a minute. Say what, George?
Zimmerman is never going to speak, ever. He's not going to testify. Anything outside of a written statement from him, we're never going to hear from him.
Not unless he's arrested. Not unless he's arrested. They've already got statements from them, according to them, but there's two different police reports. I got Ken on the line from Richmond, Virginia. Ken, how you doing?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you called in because I've been asking this question all day about the White family. And I try to emphasize to my listeners, this is a black issue in the sense that he's been treated unfairly, but it's not just a black issue in terms of what
American issue.
Exactly. What do you say, Ken?
Personally, I do think it's racial, Mike, and I'm going to be making a contribution to the local NAACP here. And I've dealt with something like this in my family, where my cousin, back in 1995, was shot. It just so happened that the guy that shot him was black, and this guy is currently doing 46 years. This has gone on far too long. There are too many conflicting stories. Everybody can see it for what it really is, but you can't get justice without the money. I'm not trying to ask anybody on your show to send to the NAACP. Personally, I am going to send to the NAACP because I don't see justice in this case.
What do you want to say to all the white family who are listening, Ken, in terms of why they need to care about this?
If this could happen to Trayvon, it could happen to their child as well.
Well, they don't believe that. They believe because white children are white that it can't happen to them. Maybe that's why they're not as involved.
It happened to my cousin living in the suburbs.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. You can tell he's upset about it.
Absolutely.
He's real upset. Where's Jim out of Atlanta? Jim, what's going on?
This is sparking one interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
When they described that meeting, George asked, he came out and said, what could make these three men come together for something like this? My question is, who? Who has the kind of power to get these three guys motivated and in one place at one time? Because everything happened after that.
Yeah. It's an interesting question.
It's a valid question.
I'm asking you, what does Michael Zimmerman's dad do? What does he do?
He's a judge,
He's
former
an ex-judge.
Go back to the question, who has the power to get those three men in one place at one time?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say because a
really
former judge,
I'm just leaving it like that.
Yeah, a former judge in Virginia, I wouldn't think would have that power, but they golf together. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, George. I'm not saying power legislatively. I'm saying their relationship, right? Because he's probably golfing with them and hanging out with them.
The good old boy network is alive and well, my friend, in Virginia.
Simple as that. Mike Baisden, how you doing? Who's this?
My name is Julie from Miami, Florida. How you doing?
Oh, Miami. That's where Trayvon is from. What's going on?
Michael. Let me tell you, this is ridiculous, okay? Not only Sanford, you had so much police, the chief of police had to be actually fired because of all the shootings of black minorities that was being shot for no reason as well. And with the father stating that, when George Zimmerman was actually going around looking for the address, you're supposed to be in charge of the crime watch. You should know the address by head.
I know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Didn't I say that, George, when he said he was looking for the address? I'm like, this guy is a fanatic.
Yeah.
He knows where every crook, nook, and cranny of that neighborhood is.
Absolutely,
His father is the judge. He know how to play the game. He is being protected. He is paying. The father is probably paying these people to protect his son.
You know what? The fact that all these people are on tour. What do you call them, George? You said they're on tour.
Yeah, that's the world tour.
It's a world tour of people out here campaigning for George Zimmerman. It's absolutely amazing. Gigi out of Greenville, North Carolina. What do you say?
I say that if he'd actually had a broken nose or a concussion, where the pictures, I mean, they would show the pictures, to back him up. But there's been no pictures or anything shown.
I got another question.
They're not releasing that type of information. And if it was a thorough investigation done by the police department, they would have taken pictures, but they don't have to release those pictures yet.
Hey, Gigi, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you have a medical background. I know George doesn't. But I'm going to throw this out there, and you all can just grab it. Can you fix your own broken nose?
No, you can't.
Okay. I don't know if you could just go home and say, give me some duct tape and some toothpicks, and I can put my nose together.
Home. Apparently, he came straight to the police station from the scene, didn't he? So he wouldn't have had time to go home or wipe the blood off his face or
how did the broken nose get fixed?
I don't know.
And he would have had the blood on the clothes. I mean,
Gigi, they washed the shirt on the crime scene.
There was no wrinkled jacket.
Nothing.
His jacket wasn't wrinkled.
It's
when you're in a fight, man, I've been in fights, man. And
you are jacked up.
The collar of my shirt has been, just with me wrestling with my son, has been torn off almost.
He said a fight for his life, George. Now, there's throwing down, and then there's a fight for your life. You're going to have some ripped up clothes. You're going to have
I would think so.
What?
I would think you would.
I'm with you, Gigi. Where's the blood at?
There was no blood. Not on him anyway.
Where's the swelling?
Thank you.
There was none.
Well, Gigi, they said he beat him in the face for over a minute. I mean, he'd had him pinned down.
And he bashed his head on the concrete, which,
And there's not a mark. I mean, if I hit your head against the concrete one time, it's going to gush blood.
I saw a mark, but it looked self-inflicted to me. Oh, I shouldn't be saying
Sorry
that.
about that, George.
Yeah, right.